Hi there. I'm Dr. Shiroko Sokitch, and I am here to talk to you today about the upcoming fire season. We are in Santa Rosa here, where my office is, and many people have been talking to me about their worries about the upcoming fire season, and especially having to deal with COVID and fire season and how to take care of themselves and their homes while all of these other things are going on. And this is, you know, it's been a hard few years because we've had fires every year for the last 3 years, and they've been serious fires. And there's smoke danger and so many other things going on. So I wanted to talk today about what you can do to prepare and to feel safe during this time that's coming in the times that we're in. And a lot of us are, still sheltering at home, and there will probably be different rules if there's going to be evacuations. But I think one thing to do is to really a lot of times it's good to be more prepared so that you can feel safer. One of my patients has got a whole bag ready to go, and that is um, helping her feel safer. And I think that's one of the things to do is to have a lot of preparation. So to have water, to make sure that you have a backpack or a bag that you have packed in case there is an evacuation. And if you have a bag, to make sure that you have certain things like all copies of all of your important documents and credit cards, but also to make sure you have cash, because in times when there's drama and people are escaping from their homes at the last minute, or if that happens, which we hope it doesn't, but if there are evacuations or power outages, you want to make sure that you have the equipment that you need. So you want to make sure you have cash, you want to make sure you have water and some sort of dried food that you could take with you if you have to leave your home. Make sure you have clothes packed and and access to your important items. Like, so whatever's really important that you want to take with you, if you have to, then you have it with you, or have it ready to go in some place. Like, let's say there's stuff that you don't use every day, but you want to make sure that it's safe. Put it in a bin and put it either in your garage or in some place that you have ready access to it, so that if you need to take it, then you can take it with you. Another thing that I think is really valuable is to uh, be mentally sort of calmer. So it was really helpful during times like this to do some kind of calming activity like meditation or prayer, or things that help you stay centered and calm and feeling like everything's going to be okay. It helps me to meditate every day in the morning when I first wake up, just to get me started, to get me calm and relaxed in the morning. And that helps me feel more in tune with what's going on. Um, and so I'm here to answer any of your questions. And one of the other things I wanted to talk about was also during stressful times, what to do to take care of your body during stressful times, so that you have ideas of things that you can do for yourself and ways that you can make sure that you're feeling calm and centered and taking care of your own body. So, of course, one of the things that happens when you're stressed a lot is that your cortisol levels go up. And um, what you want to do about that, there are many things to do. There are certain supplements that will help lower your cortisol, but there are also ways that you can lower your cortisol with your diet. So, one of the first things to do is to make sure that when you wake up in the morning, within an hour of getting up, that you have a breakfast that's high in protein. And it can be any kind of food. It could be eggs, or it could be a protein powder shake, or it could be chia seeds or flax meal pudding that you can make with like a nut milk. So if you're vegan, you could do it like that. I have had all of those things for breakfast. And within an hour of getting up. So a breakfast that's high in protein, but not in a lot of carbs. So toast and things like and jam and a lot of fruit in your smoothie, those are not a good idea because when you have a high protein breakfast, what happens is that it helps reset your cortisol level. And over the course of a week or so, it will begin to shift so that your cortisol level is not so high. Another thing that will help lower your cortisol level and help you be calmer, and this might be something you incorporate with your meditation in the morning, is that you go outside within the first couple of hours of waking up and get a little bit of daylight in your eyes. Now, you don't have to stare at the sun, so don't do that, but you just get outside and get some exposure to some sunlight just for a few minutes, like 10 minutes. And that sets your circadian rhythm. It resets your circadian rhythm, which will help also balance your stress hormones. And so that is another way to take care of yourself in times when you're feeling really super stressed. Another thing that you can do is there's a supplement that's called phosphatidylserine. I will spell that in the chat here for you. Um, and it's a calming, it helps lower your cortisol levels. I have people take it at night when they're having trouble sleeping because of stress. And it helps calm the nervous system, it helps lower your cortisol level, and that is very helpful when people are struggling with stress. Um, and I'm thinking of other things to do. You want, of course, you want to like over time and during times when things are stressful, you want to make sure that you are eating consistently healthy foods, high quality proteins, lots and lots of vegetables. Stay away from the starchy carbs and the sugars and things like that because when you eat all of those things, they'll tend to rev up your stress levels in your body. And they may also affect your digestion in a negative way, which you don't want to do. One of my favorite supplements for helping many things balance. The liver is especially taxed during stressful times, and especially when we're having toxic times, like if there was smoke around or smoke inhalation happening, you're exposed to more toxins. And glutathione is the super antioxidant in the body. And so what an antioxidant is a is a supplement that helps reduce free radicals and it helps reduce the stressors on your liver. And every single time your body detoxifies one molecule of a chemical, it uses up one molecule of glutathione. And so, if you take glutathione as a supplement, it helps you with the detoxification process and it helps support your liver through that. Now, some people are sensitive to sulfur. And if you're sensitive to sulfur, then glutathione might not immediately be the best supplement for you, in which case you should talk to someone who's an expert to figure out what would be a good supplement. Milk thistle doesn't have sulfur, and that would be another way to help take care of your liver during times when you're exposed to a lot of toxins. So milk thistle would be a good thing for you. And so I also want to start talking a little bit about PTSD because so many people are starting to talk about it now that it's 3 years after we've had the major fires that we had here. And a lot of people are starting to be really anxious about fire season and feeling really worried about that and struggling with PTSD. So there are a lot of different things that you can do for PTSD. And I created 3 years ago or 2.5 years ago when after the fires, I created an event called the Disaster Recovery Event, which is available on my website and it's available for free forever. It has 30 interviews that I did with different people about how to manage times of high stress and how to manage with PTSD and trauma and how to manage with the physical manifestations of different kinds of disasters. So at that year, we had several hurricanes. And we also had the fires here, and we had fires in Southern California, and the smoke inhalation and what happens with smoke inhalation and how to take care of yourself if you are in a disaster type situation. And any money that came from the disaster from the summit went to charities that help people who had been exposed to disasters. So you're welcome to find that on my webpage, and I'll type that in here as well. So you can find that there. And um, so one of the things that I recommend if you have struggled with PTSD is if for sort of just to figure out ways to keep yourself dealing with your emotions well is to do something called EFT tapping. And that's easy to do. There are a lot of videos online. There's a guy named Nick Ortner, and he has a lot of YouTube videos. There's a lot of free access to learning how to do tapping. And it involves tapping certain acupressure points to help yourself deal with the stress of PTSD. And then you can you'll learn by watching the videos that how to do the tapping, and that is one way to deal with some of the PTSD stress. Another way is to learn do EMDR, which I do not do, but there are practitioners of something called EMDR, and they can help you with that. They're particularly oriented to helping people with PTSD. And then I also created a series of acupuncture treatments to help deal with PTSD in order to, and I have, it's a series of 7 acupuncture treatments that can be done to sort of remove the trauma of the intense experiences from your body. So that's another thing that you could do. Um, um, so I'm thinking about what to say next. The feed isn't showing here, so I don't get to see anybody to interact with you, and I apologize for that. I'll figure that out next time. Uh, let's see. No questions. Okay. Um, so the so another thing to do to keep yourself feeling calm and cool and collected during these times where so many stressors are happening, like I've said, is to spend a few minutes meditating every day. Another thing to do is to really focus your energy on the positive things in your life, the things that are good, the things that are working for you, and to just keep focusing on all of the positive things that you're doing. Another thing to do that I find very helpful is to make sure that somehow you're helping somebody else every day. It helps me so much to be able to work and to help take care of my patients and to come to work and to find ways to answer questions and solve problems. And I think it, being able to help others always makes you feel like you've done something that will make others feel better, but it will also make you feel better. So I recommend that. There's so many people who have been so generous during this time. There are people in my neighborhood who are making masks for other people. There are people giving away sourdough starter. Other people are giving away vegetables from their garden. I'm giving away vegetables from my garden. So there's so many things that you can do that will help you feel better, but also help someone else feel better. I hope that you found this helpful. And if you have any questions after this event has occurred, please feel free to leave it in the comments and I will come back and check on the comments. All right, I have a wonderful evening and I'll hope to talk to you again soon.